I hear all the time that happy people don't have problems or that happy people are happy all the time, and that's just not true. Happy people have problems just like you and I, and so I want to talk about the difference between how happy people decide to look at the problem and respond to it that better helps them become happy or maintain their happiness rather than the reverse. So in rational emotive behavior therapy, it's a type of therapy that I'm certified in. We believe in two different types of negative emotions. There are healthy negative emotions and unhealthy negative emotions. So healthy negative emotions motivate us to solve problems or to cope functionally with problems that are out of our control. And unhealthy negative emotions do the reverse. They motivate us to act in a way that makes the problem worse or cope with the problem dysfunctionally if it's out of our control to resolve. So, in order to go from an unhealthy negative emotion to a healthier negative emotion, we have to change our perspective. And so, if we're holding on to irrational beliefs that are dogmatic, all or nothing, very rigid, they end up creating unhealthy negative emotions. And so therapy is really about helping you change your perspective about the problem and the way that you choose to respond to it to get you out of the cycle of anxiety, depression, anger, or whatever the emotion is that you're trying to get out of. And so if you're in a healthier negative emotion and you're motivated to solve problems and to cope with the ones functionally that you can't solve, you're able to make the problem go away much quicker. So therefore, if you're responding to the problem appropriately and handling it appropriately, you have less and less triggers to potentially make yourself miserable about, and you have less things to worry about and more things to be happy about because the problem's actually resolved. So, if I were to put my hand on a stove, a hot stove, and not feel any physical pain, you'd probably agree that that would be a really bad idea, right? uh, the pain of putting my hand on the stove is like, ow, I pull my hand away and say, oh my God, that hurts so bad, you know? Pain is a sign that something's wrong. So we would have never evolved to have negative emotions if they didn't serve some type of evolutionary advantage. So when you're thinking about your negative emotions, you want to think about what type of negative emotion you have is actually more important than whether you feel negative or not. And if you're thinking about the problem rationally, then you're able to be best equipped to solve the problem, which the negative emotion gives you the motivation to do, so that you reduce the longevity of the negative emotion, and then you have more room to be happy. So I think that it was worth me mentioning this part because happy people absolutely have problems. They struggle just like everybody else. And happiness is really a matter of perspective.